So happy updates, guys. Let's get into this whole thing. So, you've seen the acoustics, you've seen all this modeling stuff that I'm doing, you've seen all this stuff I've been talking about a bit on Mega Helix multi-DSP rigs. So, now I can show you this stuff. I don't want to bombard anyone because I'm sure everyone's going to do their own thing, but the glitch delay, go and check it out. I'm going to transport you now briefly into the screen, and you can see what I'm talking about, because I've been building all kinds of crazy, funky, fake pedals to represent what's really in there, and that allows you to go through and select and change and tweak and twist everything in there, just like you would on the big floor, but for a stomp. Bit of a twist, gonna want an iPad. But the idea is when you're wanting to go and chill, you don't have to be stuck here next to the Helix the whole time and messing with stuff on screen and clocked away. Especially with stuff like this. This is just ethereal, beautiful sounds, and you want to enjoy that chilled out. So I've come up with a way to do it wirelessly, on screen, with an MC6, and it all works. Check this out. So, what a day, huh? Let me show you this thing. On song as usual. If you're looking for stuff to go and get into, the glitch delay, and what you're seeing here on screen is completely fake. I've simply gone and created a 12 button pedal. 12 knobs or whatever you want. All this stuff works. This would be another replicant of going back and forth. All sorts of little different MIDI control services made for the new models. As you can see here, sequential drift, your smooths, trails, shuffle, octaves, slice feeder. A lot of what you're seeing in here, check out Kai, a lot of what you're seeing in here is sliced and diced and refed through a lot of the polyphonic models that are out there, including the new looper. And because these things do not exist in reality, but have all been created from the minds of the team that came up with the polyphonic stuff, all those Digitech guys that have moved over and given us this wealth of cool stuff. Me personally, I find it's a lot easier looking through 12 things right here on screen than stepping through on an HXSTOMP and trying to deal and adjust with all these things. You can just hit this button, move your expression pedal, your MC6 sends off a different message for each one of these, and you can tweak and tweak and tweak and tweak and tweak to your heart's content, which is great. If you've got a floor, you have no worries. Go into edit mode and start using that. But remember, what the MC6 will do for you with select messages is incredible, because you could select 2 or 3 or 4 of these things and move them in different directions, just the same way that you would do on the big Helix. You know, you can do that as well, connecting it to an expression pedal, but it starts to get a bit leery, and if you want to just change one thing at a time, you've got to undo all that mapping. So, take a weekend, do it however you want, but I tell you, this idea of mapping stuff through an MC6 or through a MIDI controller and having individual CC controls over each pedal is an incredible time saver. Takes a bit of setting up, but you do it with one of these models, you can do it with all of them. You got to decide which ones you want, but this thing is so much more than just a delay. This is an instrument, this thing, when you start messing with it. Have a think about it. Really worth doing. A lot of headaches, but really worth doing. If not this way, then you can certainly do it maxing it out on an HXSTOMP, but that's something else you're going to want to think about from here on out. I've been pointing at this for a while now. If you've got a dual DSP and you've got a single DSP Helix out there, it's time to join them together, merge everything, go and get your cables and stuff. Or you can do this with the CME Witty Masters. I've done a lot, and they're fantastic. You guys have a really, really great weekend. Dive in, and you know, when people are ready to start talking this, let me know. definitely not something you can chuck in a vid. You kind of want to get hands-on with this stuff and go through it step by step. Happy updates, folks.